All right, guys. Hi, this is Jason Burt, owner of eHip Consulting. Here with another lean minute. I had a few minutes here in between flights, heading home for the weekend, but I want to talk about a couple different things. The main thing is I want to talk about metrics. That's what I was working on at three different clients this week. Working on making sure that we have the right metrics at the right levels, so that we can make sure that we're doing the right things at each of those organizations. And probably the one thing that I really want to talk about is just how important they are at each and every level within the organization. So, whether you're the CEO or whether you're a shop floor supervisor or work team leader, you have to have some metrics, some data, some information that's telling you when there's problems that are happening, when you have a normal condition versus an abnormal condition. It's imperative. It's the only way that you're going to know whether or not your strategy and what you're working on is being effective or not. So let's think about this at each level. Basically, what you're doing is you're designing a test, a scientific experiment that is telling you whether or not what you're doing or what you're attempting to do is effective. So if you're the CEO, you've got a strategy, whether it's a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year strategy, those metrics are telling you whether or not we're going down the right path. Now, the important thing is it can't be just numbers. This is a big topic that I had this week. It can't be just random numbers. They have to have some context tied to the strategy or tied to what you're trying to work on. So I can't just say, look at my numbers and say, wow, I got 10% growth. The reality is if you were trying for 20% growth, congrats, you didn't make it. But there's some learning there that you can grab, right? There's some value in looking and saying, why did I only get 10% growth when my strategy that I built it and I felt that I was going to get 20% growth? And on the flip side of that, if you sit there and you look at me and say, hey, I got 30% growth, I'm going to say, what were you shooting for? Because if you were shooting for 40%, same scenario. If you were shooting for 20%, I'm going to say, congrats. But once again, what did you learn, right? Somehow you overachieved, and there's value in learning and understanding that context of that metric, that context of the numbers and what the story they're actually telling you. There's lots of people that collect data out there, and it's only valuable until you turn it into information by giving it some context in relation to what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. And that goes for every level, whether you're talking the strategic level, at the CEO level, whether you're a plant manager. What are your metrics? How do they roll up to the next level up in the strategic vision for the company? For a work team leader, how do those metrics show you what problems you need to work on so that the overall plan is accomplishing its goals? But every level, it's a scientific experiment. It's a plan that you guys have. You're trying to execute this plan. The metrics are allowing you to check against what your strategy is and then make adjustments or act differently, or standardize or continue on the path you're going if things are going well. But you have to have some context to your metrics, and it has to be able to show you if it's a normal or abnormal condition. Too many times I see people with lots of numbers but no context around them, so it's not really telling you a story. If I tell you it took me an hour to drive to work yesterday, it's meaningless unless I tell you it should have taken me a half an hour, because that's what it takes me every other day. Or if I, so it gives you that context. It provides a way for you to truly use that data in an informative manner and make different decisions. So take a step back, look at what you guys are measuring, look at your different levels in the organization. Do they have metrics or any type of key performance indicators in place? If they do they have a context of what you're trying to accomplish and whether or not it's you're meeting them or not meeting them, so that you can actually see a problem in relation to your strategy or what you're working on. So that's my quick lean minute here, and hopefully there was some value, and hopefully the next time I show up at any of you guys' any of your businesses, that we can all look at some good numbers and actually be able to tell a story from what you have. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Thanks.